Hi, I'm Caitlin and I have designed a learning and development program for the nurses at the Darwin Hospital. After conducting a training needs analysis on the Darwin Hospital, a number of performance gaps were identified. This report will identify the key learning objectives that have derived from the performance gaps found in the hospital. The training objectives used in the program make a distinct link back to the learning objective and ensures the nurses meet the needs of the hospital. The learning objective of this program is for staff to organise patient information, implement technology systems while engaging in routine tasks and administration duties. This can be seen in the hierarchy of learning needs in Appendix 1. The three training objectives have been selected as they are seen to be the most important and significant performance gaps throughout the nurses. These training objectives are: 1. By the end of this activity, the trainee will be competent in data entry skills and adapting to technology changes. 2. By the end of this activity, the trainee will be able to manage their time and prioritize tasks appropriately. And 3. By the end of this activity, the trainee will be able to correctly explain and demonstrate the medical terminology used to communicate with other nurses and doctors effectively. The first two training objectives are met by on-the-floor training, and the last one is met by off-the-floor training. The learning contract found in Appendix 2 outlines the on-the-job training plan for one trainee. Students have found that on-the-job training will remain the most prevalent method for educational professionals in the foreseeable future. The training needs analysis found that many trainees were not competent in entering and using the administration system, and they weren't prioritising their time to use a computerised system. The learning contract has ensured training is suitable for adult learning given the culture of the hospital. The active practice model has been used in the learning contract to engage the trainees and allow them to use cognitive and physical practice as their training is done on the floor and with the trainees physically completing the task themselves. The coaching by billet model is used throughout the learning contract. The trainer models the task of entering data and prioritizing time, and the trainee observes and then performs the task themselves. The trainer follows up with the trainee and gives feedback on their performance whilst gradually removing themselves from the situation. Studies shows coaching is one of the highest and effective forms of adult training in the workplace. The last training objective will be met through off-the-job learning. A study by Smith found that adults found more of an appreciation in the workplace after they had done off-the-floor training. The TNA found that many nurses were not using correct medical terminology when entering data into the system. This caused many communication issues between the nurses and the doctors in the workplace. This objective was found to be best taught off the job, as it is generally theory-based and would be most effective taught off the floor. Gagne's 9 events of instructions theory has been used to plan the off-the-job learning session to make it as effective as possible. The session plan found in Appendix 3 outlines exactly how the session will run. The learning objectives are discussed as a priority to gain and inform the trainees. Trainees will then discuss their experience and knowledge of using medical terminology in the workplace. The trainee will go on to hand out the handbook with all the contents that will be covered. This handbook is mostly theory-based with a few engaging activities throughout. Trainees will become interactive and give practice quizzes to each other in groups of 2, and then feedback will be given as a group as a whole. Performance will be assessed by the use of a game quiz at the end of the session to interact the trainees and make them more engaged. All trainees will be followed up in the following week to ensure that they are using correct medical terminology. This training plan was created to engage adult learners and ensure there is a transfer of learning between the session and the workplace. The training plan found in Appendix 5 outlines the program schedule. Baldwin and Ford's transfer of training model was taken into consideration when creating session plan for the nurses. The trainer briefs trainees at the start of the week with their training goals and planned outcomes. The training plan incorporates specific times throughout the 6 weeks that the trainee will meet up with their trainer to discuss post-training results. This plan goes for 6 weeks, as that gives the trainees enough time to understand the objectives, learn the objectives, and then link the training objectives back to the important learning objective and how they will achieve that. Baldwin and Ford said, effective training certainly has the potential to increase knowledge, skills, and abilities, and to enable employees to leverage their knowledge, skills, and abilities for organizational benefit. This learning and development plan was created using extensive research to ensure that trainees are gaining the most effective training possible so they can organize patient information, implement technology systems while engaging in routine tasks and administration duties. Thank you for your time, and I hope this comes to great use for you and your staff.